Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.
In today's international news, anti-government protesters who have been blocking off central Bangkok appear to have reached a deal with the government. Leaders of the protest movement told supporters that they are prepared to accept a 5-point deal being offered by the government, including a call for new elections in November. But they will not end their demonstrations until the Prime Minister announces when he will dissolve Parliament. The crowd erupted in a roar of approval when the leaders told them of the deal, which seems to revoke the threat of a violent crackdown on the protesters. Thousands of anti-government protesters have brought the center of Thailand's capital to a standstill for weeks as they seek to unseat the Prime Minister's government, which they say is illegitimate and undemocratic. In today's U.S. news, it's not just a complaint in relationships, it's a fair characterization of the state of our national political debate. The bond between fellow American citizens is being weakened by screaming and suspicion. That's why President Barack Obama's commencement address at the University of Michigan this past weekend is worth contemplating. It was a call for civility, rooted in American history, a challenge to the bitter and predictable partisanship that is affecting our country. It was a timely reminder that the success of the American experiment depends on every generation being able to reason together in the pursuit of solving our common problems. Right now, even a speech by the President of the United States is considered suspect by committed partisans. Actually listening is not as satisfying as reinforcing a play-to-the-base political narrative. In today's tech news, the newest pet-centric automatic floor vac from iRobot is actually a lot like a new puppy. Don't be surprised to find yourself following it around the house for the first few hours while it scoops up crumbs, bounces off table legs, and cautiously avoids plummeting down the stairs. Unlike previous Roombas, the 562 can sense when it's rolling over a particularly grimy area, then focus more time and suction there. That means more pet hair, dust bunnies, and other floor scum will get sucked into its carnivorous debris bin than previous iRobot floor vacs. But disappointment dawns when you realize that this little vac has some seriously impaired pathfinding skills. It seems to travel in a deliberately random fashion, often returning to an area it just covered while leaving other sections untouched. In today's green news, there's a Subaru plant along a stretch of I-65 that you can't miss if you happen to find yourself about an hour north of Indianapolis, traveling towards Chicago. It's a 2.9 million square foot facility that covers over 70 football fields. It's big, and it doesn't look all that different than any other plant from the outside. But get inside and you'll learn that not only was it the first auto assembly plant in the United States to achieve zero landfill status, but that they took it to heart and have gone a lot further. As you tour the facility under the leadership of their master guide, you learn a great deal. But when you sit down with the manager of safety and environmental compliance, Denise Coogan, you notice how hard they work to go beyond their expectations. Subaru is a Japanese automaker, a country where they're often thinking ahead of the United States because they simply don't have the space for landfills. It was from the top down that the Zero Landfill Directive came, so the plant's set to work figuring out new uses for their trash in order to achieve zero landfill status. Their three biggest waste sources have always been steel, cardboard, and pallets. While they found that it was easy enough to find ways to recycle or reuse this type of trash, they wanted to find a way to cut down on the amount of trash that they were producing in the first place. Originally, 30% of their waste was paper from their bathrooms and the cafeteria. That all went to an incinerator where it was burned and turned into steam energy. And although that meets the requirements of a zero landfill facility, it wasn't good enough for the higher-ups at SIA. They wanted to do better. Now they use biodegradable paper products and have set up two 90-gallon composters behind the plant where the paper products and other food scraps are turned into nutrient-dense soil that employees can come and pick up for their own gardens at their convenience.
These are the most powerful songs of all time. Songs of strength and majesty. Time Life proudly presents Classical Power. You'll get 5 CDs for a very special price. You'll hear more than 6 hours of timeless classics by the world's greatest composers. Call now to get Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $29.99. But wait, order in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, and we'll cut the price to just $14.99. That's right. You get 5 powerful CDs for the incredible price of $14.99. Then preview other beautiful classical CDs. Satisfaction guaranteed. This special collection is not sold in stores. So call now and get Time Life's Classical Power on 5 CDs for just $14.99.
Call 1-800-731-0511. Order Classical Power on 5 CDs for $14.99 plus shipping when you call in the next 10 minutes with your credit card, or order online at timelife.com/power.
In today's entertainment news, Carrie Underwood has already admitted that she's not stressing about her upcoming wedding to Ottawa Senators hockey player Mike Fisher. Now Carrie is not even giving the big day a thought. Carrie said, "Everybody always asks me questions like, what have you always dreamt of? This is your day." Carrie also said that she never thought about her wedding until she was engaged. She wasn't one of those little girls that always dreamt about getting married, so she has no idea what she is doing in terms of how big a bash the wedding will be. Carrie said that they are trying to keep it as small as possible, but Mike and Carrie both have so many family members and friends that a small wedding may be a stretch. In today's health news, magazine readers no longer have to squint to see health warnings on ads for smokeless tobacco products. Big, bold health warnings, which stem from last year's landmark tobacco law, have begun showing up in magazines this month. The new rules requiring more prominent health warnings on advertising for smokeless tobacco products officially go into effect on June 22nd and kick in a year later for cigarette ads. Previously, the warning on smokeless tobacco ads appeared in a small circle in the corner of the ad. Now, a bold warning must fill 20% of the advertising space. The new law requires a rotating set of larger warnings, including "Warning, this product is not a safe alternative to cigarettes." "Warning, this product can cause mouth cancer." And "Warning, this product can cause gum disease and tooth loss." Earlier ads required the same statements, but in a smaller type. The new law also adds a fourth warning to the rotation: "Warning, smokeless tobacco is addictive." Not everyone thinks the larger warnings will make much of a difference because the warning is in white print on a black background. Smokeless tobacco products are a growing part of industry plans in response to declining cigarette sales. But the products are quickly moving into the center of the debate over how to regulate smokeless tobacco. Smokeless advocates say that they should be promoted as safer than cigarettes, while some health advocates say that would encourage new users and deflect would-be quitters. Meanwhile, cigarette packages and advertising are required to have their own bigger, stronger warnings as of June 22, 2011, the second anniversary of the law. Those warnings would have to cover the top half and the front and rear of each package and include color graphics depicting the negative health consequences of smoking. The graphics would be modeled on ads in Canada, Australia, and New Zealand showing cancers, lung disease, and other damaging effects. In today's fashion news, Jean-Louis Dumas, who revived the flagging fortunes of Hermes in the late 1970s and in his nearly 30 years as the company's chief executive, transformed it into one of the world's most successful luxury brands. Mr. Dumas died Saturday at his home in Paris. He was 72. A company spokeswoman confirming the death provided no details on the cause, although Mr. Dumas has had Parkinson's disease for several years. Mr. Dumas assumed leadership of Hermes in 1978 at a low point in the company's fortunes. Founded in 1837, it was a harness maker, but then it had diversified to include clothing, jewelry, and accessories by the 1920s. Although its Kelly bags and signature square scarves were fashion must-haves, the company was languishing, hobbled by its fusty image. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.